Jadav is back at it here to give everyone another Walking Dead Season 5 episode review video. But before I get into that, it's extremely important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am in watching The Walking Dead or rewatching The Walking Dead, for you to pay attention to that episode title. I'll even put that title in the description for you. If that's the case and you know that you're not caught up, then I suggest, and a lot of other people would too, that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be The Walking Dead Season 5, Episode number 4. The title of this episode is called Slabtown. This will be my review, reaction, recap of the episode. And keep in mind, I have watched the episode many times. I'm just rewatching it to have it on the channel as a review. And due to the fact that they announced The Walking Dead Season 11 will be the final season of The Walking Dead main show, I thought I better have every episode on the channel. We actually start off with Beth. Beth is back as she awakens in Grady Memorial Hospital and is greeted by two survivors who she doesn't know, Lieutenant Dawn Lerner and Dr. Stephen Edwards. Dawn explains that her officers found Beth unconscious on the side of a road and surrounded by rotters, or walkers, and they saved her life. Dawn tells Beth that as a rule of the hospital, she must repay them with labor, and Beth is assigned to be a nurse for Dr. Edwards. She and Dr. Edwards are called to attend to a new patient, Gavin Trevitt, and Edwards immediately writes Gavin off as a lost cause, but Dawn insists Dr. Edwards try to save him, and then Edwards is unable to save Gavin. Dawn becomes infuriated and slaps Beth across the face like it was her fault, causing her previous injuries to bleed again. Now later, Beth and Dr. Edwards must treat a worker, Joan, who was bitten while attempting to escape the hospital. Despite Joan's pleas to be allowed to die, Dawn orders Dr. Edwards to amputate Joan's arms to prevent the infection from spreading. Beth meets another hospital worker named Noah, who warns her that Dawn and her officers are more sinister than they seem. He confides in Beth that he intends to escape the hospital when the time is right and return to his community in Richmond, Virginia. A recuperating Joan warns Beth that Dawn cannot control her officers and that Dawn keeps her officers' loyalty and morale high by allowing them to have their way with the patients, implying that they have raped her. Oh boy. One of the officers at the hospital, Officer Gorman, begins sexually harassing Beth, but is stopped by Dr. Edwards. Beth asks Dr. Edwards why he stays at the hospital, and Dr. Edwards explains that in the aftermath of the bombing of Atlanta, the officers and the surviving staff took shelter in the hospital until they ran out of supplies, and they were forced to scavenge. He tells her that a deal was made to take in and heal the injured in return for their labor, and says no matter how bad conditions in the hospital get, it's better than the alternative. Which is to be outside. And then Dr. Edwards tells Beth to give Gavin a dose of clozapine, an atypical antipsychotic, which kills him. An angry Dawn demands to know what happened, and Noah lies and takes the blame. Dawn has Noah beaten as a punishment. Dr. Edwards insists to Beth that he told her to give Gavin a dose of clozapam, a benzodiazepine, whatever medical name, rather than clozapine. Now, Dawn warns Beth that she knew Noah was lying, but was forced to make an example of him for the greater good. Now, Dawn also tells Beth that she isn't strong enough for the world as it is, but Beth insists she is. And they made Beth a little bit of a badass all of a sudden. The next day, Beth and Noah plan to escape the hospital via the elevator shaft to the basement. While retrieving a key from Dawn's office, Beth finds the body of Joan, who has committed suicide. Beth is caught by Gorman, who offers his silence in return for sex. Beth hits him in the head with a lollipop jar, leaving him to be eaten by the reanimated and turned Joan. Now, Beth and Noah climb down the elevator shaft, but Noah actually gets attacked by a walker, or a rotter as they call him, a few floors down. and then he falls and injures his leg in the aftermath. Now, attracting walkers while it's escaping, Beth actually shoots some walkers with a gun that she got from Gorman, and officers are seen shooting walkers with Beth while Noah escapes, but Beth is recaptured in the parking lot by the police officers. And then Dawn confronts Beth about the deaths of Joan and Gorman. Beth tells Dawn that the two deaths were the result of the hospital's corrupt regime and that nobody is coming to rescue them. Dawn strikes Beth again in anger. Later, while Dr. Edwards treats her injuries, Beth reveals that she discovered Gavin was a doctor, and Dr. Edwards admits that he knew Gavin and he arranged his death in the attempt to ensure he would remain useful to the officers, ensuring his own survival. Appalled, Beth later obtains a pair of scissors, and some people think it was in the intention or for the intention of killing Dr. Edwards, but I don't know if that's the case. But she was stopped in her tracks when a gurney carrying Carol is brought into the hospital, and that's how the episode ends. So, not the best in terms of like favorite Walking Dead characters. You've got Beth and a bunch of people we don't know. But I'll say this, it was actually a way better episode than I expected it to be, and all of a sudden I cannot talk for whatever reason. I don't know what that is about. But I don't like it that much, but I don't hate it. So as far as the score of the episode, I liked actually the character of Dr. Edwards. If people ask me who were my favorite obscure characters in The Walking Dead, Dr. Edwards is gotta be almost somewhere near the very top of that list. Obscure characters. We're talking about characters that have had a really low episode count, and I think he would be definitely one of them. Definitely. I like Dr. Edwards. I'm a little surprised. Obviously, I already know the outcome of this whole situation. I'm a little surprised that something doesn't happen with him going forward. So I'm going to give the episode a 7.8 out of 10. The character of the episode, while I like to give it to somebody else, you got to give it to Beth, because Beth was kind of a badass in this episode, and it's something different. I'll say that. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn. First of all, if you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you love this series and like this episode, smash the like button, please. If you know anybody that would be interested in listening or watching these videos, share the video with them. Let them know that they can share it with other people. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section, and that can be your character of the episode, your score of the episode, your favorite moment of the episode, or you can talk about things like your favorite characters and favorite episodes of Walking Dead, as well as your least favorite and things of that nature. Whatever you want to talk about, leave it in the comment section, because that's where that stuff goes, and I'll respond to all comments. I challenge you to leave a comment, and of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your support, and be a part of something special, and JDev will return.